You should absolutely delete curl dance. On the HEMA Discord, I actually got a very special color for my text because I did delete curl dance with 2 sabers. Also, since you have a habit of screwing with me on YouTube, guess what?
What?
We're recording.
Oh, God.
Hi, YouTube.
Hi, that's Kat with Winged Saber Historical Fencing.
That's Russ. He's mean.
And also from Winged Saber Historical Fencing. So, in response to your many, many questions, and by that I mean one of them, the question is, are there other cuts or follow-ups you can do after you block a low cut? Let's run through the geometry. Kat, if you'll go backwards and make a cut 3 of me. Yeah, we're at a constrained space, but.
Okay, 3.
Boink! From here, there are so many things I can do, of which this is unequivocally the best. Because I can hit behind if there's a hand guard, I can maintain opposition and just step forward.
What?
You have to say blit at the camera, it's a law.
What?
Right.
Okay.
There are, however, other options I can do. So cat cuts 3, boop, I make it at me even though it's a constrained space. Boop. Okay, so I have blocked 3 and I'm not allowed to do this thing. Well, I can clearly come around and do this. Oh. We need the groom him now. Okay, so I have blocked 3 and I can clearly come around and do, oh. So I have blocked 3. Clearly I can come around and do this. You didn't say oh.
Oh.
Okay, good. So how would that work? Why would that work? Most importantly, when would it work? So cut 3, please. Gonna catch you in the guard. I'm just gonna move you, boom, okay, stereotypical parry, right? It split up the guard, yay. From here, if we take a page from French theory, we have the line of the hand here. We have above, inside, outside, below. Cat is not going to make a cut to my outside low because that's suicidal. If she makes any kind of a follow-up, it will be here into the upper inside quadrant, or it will be here to the upper outside quadrant. Or if I've screwed up the bind and given her a craptastic bind, she'll just come around and bleh, lasagna. You don't get to grimace, that's your phrase. So knowing that, what are the safe things I can do from here? Well, where's her point? There, it's right there. Is it safe for me to leave the bind?
Yes.
Yes, it is clearly safe for, oh. The answer is no, it is not safe for me to leave the bind because look at where her tip is. Now, if I were here, I could definitely do this and there's, oh. So, if you're parrying a rising cut and you leave the bind, to paraquote the Joker, you get what you might deserve. So when could this work? What if you had somebody who threw a 3 and a 2, which is a very common combination? So switch back slightly, we'll make the space work for us. The new digs will be much easier to film in. Oh, okay, so now I can roll up to 2, and then I get myself a free saber. And she got the point.
Right there.
So that's an option, but what made that option viable? It was Kat's decision to leave the bind. And there are times when you can leave the bind safely. If I come in here and go 3 and 2, I have presented enough of a threat that she doesn't have time to screw around trying to slip a little bit of offense in. Now, of course, it's absolutely her football at this point, and it looks like she's going to opt to give. I'm in trouble. I now have to have really good movement to avoid that follow-up, right? If she has done things correctly, I'm not going to. It's not going to happen. So there are times, cut 4, just for sake of the camera, when you can get away with a cheeky head cut like that while you run away from their weapon. But if they're awake, file under don't leave the bind in close engagement. So cat cuts 4 again. This time she's awake. Oh, you were so nice to me.
I'm really nice.
I must have been scared. Yeah, right there. And if she puts enough affirmative pressure here, it doesn't have to be a break the forearm blow. My cut will not land. Now, we often don't use that level of pressure when we're playing with our friends. We tap and go, and sometimes doubles happen that actually wouldn't have happened. Which is why if you get into competitive play and you're really cool, well, you can't argue with the judge in your own favor because that's shit sportsmanship, but you are always entitled to say, no, that wouldn't have landed, no, it was bad quality, don't take that. Except for, there are a couple rule sets where you're not allowed to, but I don't believe in them. I believe being ladies and gentlemen, as we should and must be when we're hitting each other with weapons, requires us to go, I have parried 4. I have smacked at her head. This was not a double. She was really frickin' nice to me, and there was no way, if she came crashing up here with her body weight, that this was ever gonna get anywhere near that mask, let alone the shoulder and clavicle like I'd like it to. So what are follow-ups you can do if you don't want to leave the bind suicidally until you know they're doing something different? So cat cuts 3. Well, one thing is you can just step forward and shank them.
Oh no.
Because this turns into a thrust in opposition.
Bled.
So I don't have to come back to guard, although this is our preferred response for a reason. As soon as this comes in and I know I'm safe, in that moment, all I have to do is step. I must do it in that moment. Because you know what a lot of people really like to do? It's cut 3 and flip it false to the neck. So cat cuts 3. Ha, I have totally won. To this size of the Pop-Tart we're talking about now, I've taken a lot of time to talk about this Pop-Tart. Now I'm going to, it's okay, we don't monetize. YouTube can't take this away from us. So, there are all kinds of alternate actions you can do for a given moment. All of them require safety. If you are in a bind with their point right here, you are not yet safe. You must do something that will change the geometry in your favor. That's why this is the preferred attack. Especially if we're being mean and we're smacking the backs of their hands, like I'm not gonna do a cat because she's an artist. She needs the back of her hand not smacked. So, you who asked the question, we won't belabor it any further, but since I know who you are and other members of the viewing audience, I challenge you to think about the geometries and find the safe alternatives. There are a couple more. I'm not teaching them in general. I'm certainly not putting them up on YouTube because they're super edge case. Okay, fine, I'll do one. One super edge case. Mostly because she was starting to pout at me. Go back, cut 3.
3.
As soon as I am safe, I can flip the blade. This doesn't have to be a grab. And now we can see what's likely to happen, right? Cat's gonna grab my forearm because she doesn't want to die. Well, hold in the weapon, silly.
That one.
And then I'm gonna turn.
Oh, I died anyway.
And bad things are gonna happen. Or our favorite friend near Houston will get in this position and go, is it Fouette Italienne time? Do I get to kick him in the bladder with my toe? Another edge case, because most of you haven't trained that. All right, so you know who you are. Have fun, go do the thing successfully. We've got more videos and content coming, so if you liked what you saw and it was useful for you, please stab the like button, /subscribe, and punch the little bell icon so that you're notified immediately when new content comes available. Thanks, and go do the thing.